Hello, space fans. Today we are diving into the lore of LEGO City Space, and we have to take a look at the characters, the state of operations and duty, as well as location to unpack the lore of LEGO City Space. So, for the characters, the yellowish orange suited minifigures, those are going to be the extractors using the machinery to mine energy crystals. As for the green minifigures, those are our scientists. They are the guys that study the energy crystals after they were extracted by the yellow suited minifigures. The blue minifigures are the pilots of all of the vehicles. And our gold minifigure, well, that is the captain or the chief, the head command of all of the minifigures. Alongside the minifigures, there's also various robots that also have colors on them, whether it's yellow for the extraction, green for the scientist robots, and orange for the assistant pilot robots. Now we have to take a look at the state of duty or operations. What are these characters doing in this space setting? Well, it appears as if they are mining energy crystals, which are used to power their ships and vehicles. So these are found on a planet, from what it appears to be, because there's small rock structures throughout these sets, and they have a different variety of energy crystals, whether they're larger energy crystals or the kind of standard energy crystal. And for that state of operation, it looks like our pilots drive the vehicles to the destination. The yellow characters, they mine the crystals, and the green ones take a look at the crystals and actually probably convert them over to batteries to power the vehicles. So it all works in a flawless motion of this system, which actually works very well for these. And I also happen to notice that there is small aliens on this planet, which they appear to be harmless as friendly aliens. They just kind of coexist, not opposing any threat. They seem pretty friendly, and they don't really interact with the space characters all that much. They just kind of coexist as creatures walking on Earth, pretty much just creatures walking in space, doing their own thing. So now that we understand the characters and the state of operation, we have to understand the environment. Where are these characters currently at? Where's their location? Because there's several ships, there's some Land Rovers, and there is some space stations. So we have to take a look at the box art for that. So taking a look at a lot of the various box arts, you can see that this is a planet that is very rocky, and you can see that there's lots of variations of levels, and this is a very rough terrained planet. And I will point out something very interesting. In the 4+ box art, you can see that the actual models that are displayed on planets are floating on two separate pieces of rock. And the reason why I'm pointing this out is because in the modular space station, a LEGO set that is taken in space above the planet that they are currently harvesting the energy crystals from, you can see that there is a giant crack or crater in this planet, and it looks like the planet's actually crumbling apart. And so this opposes a very interesting theory. On a lot of the box arts, you can see that there is a crumbling away of this planet, like it is deteriorating, like these scientists and astronauts are here to extract crystals and take them off of this planet, because in a lot of the photos, it shows this planet crumbling apart. And this is completely theoretical by me. I just speculate this by putting it together to make an interesting storyline, because there's a lot of planet-based sets of these rovers on the planet, and you can see like the ground cracking open. There's this purple like kind of mist coming out of the ground, like the planet is deteriorating, which kind of opposes that the scientists are here to grab the energy crystals, leave before the complete destruction of the planet, which also leads into another theory of the space, the modular space station. These bases could be located on the ground for now, and that fits into the timeline, as if they get there to where the planet is still suitable to go down and walk on the planet and stuff. And then in the timeline towards the end of the timeline, which would be the modular space station, it could be when the planet is completely cracking apart and deteriorating. And that hints the space, modular space station, that it can convert to a space train carrying all of the cargo off the planet as they probably head back to Earth from this place with all of the crystals. It's just an interesting thing that I decided to speculate here. There's not much lore for this online. It's really, you have to look at the sets and come up with the story yourself. And this is where we get thrown the biggest curveball, because there's a new set releasing April 1st that was not currently, it didn't release with the January wave, and it came later. And this one kind of throws us the curveball in the storyline. So this set is located on the planet, and it is a space science lab. And the thing that throws the biggest curveball is the alien in this set is in a space suit. So this shows some level of intelligence either in the alien disguising himself as an astronaut, or the scientists or the astronauts, pilots. It comes with a scientist minifigure and a pilot minifigure. Either they decide to put this alien in a space suit to experiment on him, or as a joke or something, or the alien actually has a brain of itself and is disguising itself, maybe to get on one of the ships and come back to Earth. Who really knows? I mean, it's a friendly creature from what I've seen and read online, but it's the biggest curveball, and I can't quite put my finger on it. This set is really out of place in the storyline and the timeline that I have kind of put together. So now that we understand kind of the lore and story that's kind of going on here, I'm going to throw the sets into what I think is the chronological timeline of how this is all happening. The space base and rocket launch pad, as well as the science lab, I think those are the first sets they established on the planet while it's still in 100% functioning condition, not deteriorating yet. Now, phase 2 in the timeline, I would say the construction mech for exploration, as well as the exploration rover and the command rover, as they now established a base. Now they are starting to adventure out on the planet with these sets. Now for part 3 of the timeline, this is the final phase. This is when the planet is at its most deteriorated state. It has the spaceship and asteroid discovery vehicle, because this is where the land structures look the most deteriorated, and we can see one of the ships flying off, as well as the interstellar starship, because that is located in space, nowhere near the planet, and then the international modular space station, because that is also located off the planet. And you can kind of see the final destruction of the planet in that box art for the space station as it's crumbling away and deteriorating. So these are the last of the vehicles leaving the planet as it is deteriorating. And to the last and final theory as why there is a alien in a spacesuit is maybe the scientists are taking this guy back to Earth to do some more studies on, because the planet is under destruction, which leads to the further theory that the planet is falling apart and deteriorating because they are trying to get everything off of there, as well as the crystals and the aliens, to kind of do some studies on them. So this concludes my speculation and storyline and timeline for the LEGO City Space sub-theme. I thought this was a very interesting thing to release this year, and I do have one of the sets currently. I really enjoyed that building process and the play features and the minifigures in that. Super cool set. It was the Command Rover. I did a live stream on that and absolutely loved it. As for this entire theme, I think this theme is great, and it really has a lot to discover. And maybe even in the comments, if you guys have some other theories or ideas as to what is going on with this space theme, be sure to let me know your thoughts down below. And thank you guys for watching this video.